You ever walk into a place like Dusty Road Cafe in Willow Creek, Texas, that dusty little spot off Route 17, where the coffee's strong enough to wake the dead, and the booths still smell like yesterday's chili and feel like the world's about to crack open right under your feet? Well, that's exactly what happened one humid August night back in 22, when five cocky high school seniors from the wrong side of the tracks cornered a kid named Ethan Hayes in the back booth, pelting him with onion rings and French fries while they hooped and hollered, phones out like they were directing their own twisted reality show. Ethan, this sweet 14-year-old with autism, was just trying to eat his burger in peace, his hands flapping like he was fighting off a swarm of invisible bees, mumbling too much, too loud, under his breath, and me, Maria Lopez, the 26-year-old waitress slinging hash browns to pay for my community college classes. I couldn't just stand there wiping down the counter anymore. Not when I'd spent half my life shielding my little brother Carlos from stares just like these, back when folks in our neighborhood whispered he was touched because he'd line up his toy trucks for hours instead of playing tag. See, those boys, Cody leading the pack with his faded Letterman jacket, and that smirk like he'd already won life's lottery. They weren't just messing around for kicks. Nah, it ran deeper. This gnawing resentment bubbling up from years of watching kids like Ethan get the quiet understanding from teachers that they never did. The extra patience from folks who saw potential in his quirks while labeling them as trouble for skipping class or mouthing off to hide how broke their families were after the mill shut down. Cody leaned in close that night, his breath hot with cheap soda and spite, sneering. "Hey, freak show, you practicing for the circus or what? Bet your daddy wishes he left you at the fairground." And Ethan's face crumpled, not in tears right away, but in that slow unraveling where his whole body starts rocking, head thumping soft against the booth cushion like he was trying to knock the noise out of his skull. Thud, 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 and the other boys, Jake and the rest, they egged him on with laughs that sliced the air sharper than the diner's old ceiling fan. One of them is shoving a fry right into Ethan's collar while filming it all, yelling, "Smile for TikTok, retard, this one's going viral." My heart slammed like a screen door in a storm. You know that feeling where your chest tightens and everything else fades, just the kid's wide eyes locking on mine across the room, pleading without words, and I dropped my tray crash. Plates skittering across the linoleum like fleeing roaches and marched straight over, planting myself between them and him, my apron still dusted with flour from the morning biscuits. "Back off, now," I said, voice low but steady as the Rio Grande after rain. "Or you go through me first, and trust me, boys, I'm not near as breakable as you think." Cody straightened up, all 6 feet of teenage bravado, his buddies snickering behind him like hyenas, and he fired back with that ugly edge. "Who asked you, grease monkey? Go flip burgers in the back where you belong. We own this town, sweetheart, and your wetback hero act ain't impressing nobody." The words stung, sure landed like gravel in an open wound, reminding me of every side eye from the old-timers who still saw my family's faded Our Lady of Guadalupe sticker on the truck as some kind of threat, but I didn't flinch, just held my ground, hands out calm like I was soothing Carlos during one of his meltdowns, whispering to Ethan, "Hey, kiddo, it's Maria, breathe with me, okay? You're safe, you're good." Those words, they're just noise from boys who don't know better yet. The diner went dead quiet, forks hovering midair, old-timers at the counter craning necks like they were watching a dust-up at the rodeo. And that's when the door banged open heavy, like Judgment Day rolling in on 2 wheels, and this mountain of a man filled the frame. Jack Hayes, 6 feet 5 inches of weathered leather and tattooed forearms, eyes like storm clouds over the plains. Ethan's face lit up through the tears. "Dad. Dad," soft as a prayer, and Jack, leader of the Iron Wolves MC, the crew that rolled through Willow Creek like thunder on Friday nights, scaring the hell out of half the county with their patched vests and stories of bar fights from here to Amarillo. He froze, taking in the scene. His boy curled up small, me shielding him like a mama bear, and those 5 punks still grinning, phones whirring. Jack's jaw ticked, fists balling up white-knuckled. I could see the rage boiling. Years of protecting Ethan from a world that chewed up different kids like him. Ever since his mom walked out saying she couldn't handle the weirdness, leaving Jack to raise a son who saw patterns in chaos but couldn't tie his shoes without a meltdown. Cody, sensing blood in the water, doubled down, voice dripping sarcasm. Oh great, the circus clown's got a biker daddy. Lock up the retard before he embarrasses you again, old man. Or we'll do it for you. Everyone sucked in a breath, me included, heart pounding like I'd swallowed a jackhammer, waiting for the explosion, for Jack to launch across that booth and turn those boys into mincemeat. But I stepped closer, touched his arm light, feeling the tremor under that iron skin, and murmured, "Mr. Hayes, don't, that's their game. They want the video, want you to look like the monster so they can play victim. Ethan's watching. Give him better than that." And damn if it didn't hit him like a cold splash. His eyes met mine, fierce but flickering with something raw, gratitude maybe, or just the exhaustion of a dad who'd fought every battle wrong till now, and instead of swinging, he pulled out his burner phone, thumbed a quick call. "Mike, Dusty Road. Now bring the whole damn pack." Hung up, knelt slow by Ethan, wrapping those massive arms around his boy, gentle as handling fine china. "It's okay. Champ Daddy's here. You're my world. Ain't nobody changing that." The punks shifted, bravado cracking like dry earth, Cody muttering, "Go on. Hit us, world's watching. You'll rot in county while we sue your ass blind." But then, oh man, then the rumble started low at first, like thunder chasing heat, lightning way off over the mesas, building till it shook the windows, rattled the salt shakers on every table, and 60 Iron Wolves Harleys snarled into the lot, engines growling hungry as coyotes at dusk. Folks bolted to the glass, phones up, whispering bets on the bloodbath, and those boys, pale as biscuits before they rise, Cody's voice a squeak. "They're bluffing." Right. The door swung wide. Mike Harlan striding in first chapter prez, built like a 57 Chevy with a bad attitude, vest heavy with patches from runs that'd make your hair curl, but behind him, no chains or bats, just kids. His own daughter Lily in her power chair, wheels humming soft, braids swinging as she wheeled right up. Riley, this lanky autistic teen, clutching a chessboard like a shield. A dozen more, Down syndrome grins, and hearing aids glinting under the fluorescence, wheeling, walking, flapping hands in that beautiful chaos that said louder than words, "We're here, deal with it." The diner gasped collective, like we'd all swallowed wrong, and Mike's voice boomed easy, almost folksy. "We ain't come for payback, boys, we come to school ya. These, our blood, our firecrackers. And tonight, you're gonna learn what family really kicks like." Picture it, the air thick as gumbo, those punks shrinking into their Naugahyde seats while Lily rolls up to Cody, eyes sharp as a hawk on a fence post, and says flat out, "No venom, just truth. I got cerebral palsy. IQ off the charts. What's your excuse for being this slow on basic human decency?" Cody blinked, mouth working like a landed catfish, and the room rippled with nervous chuckles, tension easing just a hair as Riley sidled up to Ethan, holding out a half-solved Sudoku. "Hey, man, same wiring, different sparks? Watch this." Fingers flying, puzzle done in under a minute, and Ethan's rocking slowed, a tiny smile cracking through as he echoed, "Sparks. Good. Me?" I was kneeling there, hand on Ethan's back, throat tight, watching these hard-ass bikers, men who'd stared down federals and feds alike, turn soft, vulnerable, sharing stories that peeled back their armor. The dad signing fluent ASL with his deaf son, teaching Jake letter by letter till the kid's face lit up like Christmas. Another handing Brad a wrench for a bike rebuild. Silence companionable, no rush. Just respect for rhythms the world don't always honor. Jack locked eyes with me again, nodding slow, that steel melting to something warm. "You started this," Maria turning fists to bridges. "Ethan's lucky I walked in on your watch." And just like that, the script flipped. No sirens, no cuffs, but Mike laying down the law calm as a Sunday sermon. 100 hours, each of you, no haggling. You'll shadow us, help with the kids, sit in support circles, learn sign, learn patience, learn why different ain't a dirty word but the grit that builds empires. The boys nodded, defeated but not broken, Cody's shoulders slumping as he pocketed his phone. That viral clip now flipped to something raw, real. Weeks blurred after that. Awkward as a first dance, Cody fumbling math proofs with Lily, her teasing him gentle. "See? Brains ain't about legs that work perfect, it's about seeing the angles nobody else catches." And him admitting one night, over lukewarm coffee, voice cracking, "We thought we were tough, picking on easy marks. But damn, you make us look like the fragile ones." Jake and Riley wrenching on Harleys in Jack's garage, grease up to elbows. Jake finally getting why silence could be louder than shouts. Brad signing full sentences by week's end. The deaf kid's grin hitting him harder than any high school trophy. Ethan? God. The change in him from whispering, "Ethan bad," in the booth to echoing, "Sparks good," during group hangs. Laughing shy when Riley beat him at chess, but high-fiving anyway. His world cracking open like a pecan shell under a rock. Me, I wove through it all, unofficial counselor in my off hours, drawing from nights rocking Carlos through storms, reminding those boys when frustration boiled, this ain't about erasing what you did. It's about owning it so you don't poison the next kid, and feeling Jack's gaze on me, quiet pride in those eyes, like I'd handed him a map out of the rage he'd carried since Ethan's mom bailed. By the 100th hour, it wasn't punishment anymore, it was belonging. Those punks showing up unprompted to a family picnic, Cody lifting a kid onto a pony ride without a second thought. Then came the big night Willow Creek High gym packed tighter than a tailgate at the stockyards. Bleachers groaning under ranchers and reporters, 60 wolves lined up out back like chrome sentinels. Mike at the mic, gravel voice steady. 3 months back, these fellas thought cruelty was king tonight. They show what crowns real strength. The boys stepped up, sweaty-palmed, but Lily wheeled beside Cody, hand in his, and he choked out. We were blind, mocking what we couldn't touch. But different? That's the superpower we missed. Applause built slow, then crashed like waves on the Pedernales. And when Jack lifted Ethan to the podium, kids' hands trembling, but chin high, he leaned in, voice small, but steel true. Ethan. Not broken. Ethan Sparks good. All us. Good. The gym exploded, cheers thundering. Tears streaking faces I'd known since diaper days. Cody stepping up last, chest out. Ethan's my brother now, I'd ride through hell for him. Same as these wolves. And as the Harleys fired up outside, rumbling through town with kids waving from handlebars, it felt like vindication, like we'd stolen fire from the bullies' gods and lit a bonfire instead. But here's the thing that keeps me up some nights, staring at the cafe's neon buzzing like a guilty conscience. We built this Lucas. Wait, Ethan project, spreading to schools statewide. Me founding the Lopez Center for Real Talk on Differences. Jack's Wolves rebranded as Road Guardians in the papers. Ethan at 19 keynoting rallies with that same fire, but did we really fix him? Or just slap a Band-Aid on a bleed out? Those boys. Clean now. Mentoring. But what if the next pack rolls in, hungrier, from a town where the mill's ghost still whispers, "You're nothing"? Is this compassion justice? Or just a pretty story we tell ourselves while the real wolves circle? Hit that like if this flipped something in you. Subscribe for more tales from the dusty edges where folks surprise you, and drop in the comments. Was Jack right to hold back? Or should those punks have tasted a little iron wolf justice the old way? What's the line between teaching and letting him swing in hell? What's one time your town got it wrong on different, and how'd it burn? Share it. Y'all, let's unpack this mess together.